guys, Balls96 here, but the O is a 0, and in today's video I am predicting the end of season awards, what I think will be the case come the end of the season, who will be champions, who will be relegated, who will be top goal scorer, and many more. So make sure to stick around to find out what I'm predicting for the end of the season. Champions, Manchester City. No surprises to start, really. Manchester City are going to be the champions yet again, I think. The early loss of KDB for a large period will be tough, but they've just got such an unbelievable squad that they'll probably handle his absence very easily. Haaland has started the season in typically brilliant fashion, and all in all, they just look at this early stage that they are going to boss it, to be honest. It is frustrating when one team dominates a league every season for everyone but that team's supporters, but that is the way it is at the moment with Manchester City in the Premier League, and I just can't look past them this season when deciding who is going to lift that Premier League trophy. Second, third and fourth, Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United. This is how I predicted the remainder of the Champions League spots to go, and so far it could be likely that this is how it ends up. Arsenal's transfer activity has really impressed me in this window, and I think they will perform even better this season than they did the last. Liverpool are going to be having a transitional season, and I think there should still be some business to be done before the window closes up, but considering that, I am hopeful for a pretty good season and qualification for the Champions League. Then we turn our attention to Manchester United, who I have put into fourth place. They haven't looked convincing in the first couple of games this season, but it is early doors and there have been a few changes which will require some time to mould into a working machine. And the fact that they were able to come back in that Forest win was pretty impressive. So whether Manchester United finish in the top four depends on how quickly they can perform that transition, but I do believe they have the capability to get in there. Fifth and sixth, Newcastle United and Aston Villa onto the Europa League spots, and I went for Newcastle United and Aston Villa with this prediction. It leaves out some big teams in Spurs, Chelsea and an excellently performing Brighton, although they did just lose to West Ham, but there is method behind the madness. Spurs, although they're doing alright at the minute, I do think without Kane are going to struggle and they are going to take time to work things out, whilst Chelsea are going to be having a big transitional season with a new manager and a new team. Then Brighton, although they are looking good now, I think the extra demands of European football could negatively impact a side who have never experienced it before. Newcastle United performed brilliantly last season, and with their resources I see no trouble in them getting Europa League at the least, but feasibly they could push even higher, whilst Aston Villa under Unai Emery with their recent signings could be a major force to be reckoned with, and I think they have a very good chance at surprising a few people in pipping those aforementioned teams to Europa League spot. Relegated, Bournemouth, Luton Town and Sheffield United. Down at the bottom of the table, I've gone for Bournemouth, Luton Town, Sheffield United. Bournemouth have made some decent moves this summer and proved a lot of people wrong last season. So they have all of the capability to stay up, but I just think that second season syndrome may set in on this one, and the competition is going to be too tough for them to overcome. This time around, 19th and 20th, I've occupied by two of the new boys. Both are good teams, and I think both could conjure up some memorable results this season, but again, I just think the competition is going to be a step above what they can deal with, and I think it will be a long, tough season for both teams. I do think it is going to be close down there, and I think you could swap any of these teams out for the likes of Everton or Wolves, really, but I am sticking with this as my prediction for relegation. Overachievers, Burnley. From speaking about two of the new boys going down, I'm now speaking about the third new boy not only staying up, but overachieving. A fair few pundits and YouTubers think Burnley will go back down, but I actually think they are going to surprise a few people. I really like the moves that they have made to improve the squad this season, making that back line really solid and adding quality in a number of important different positions. I think bringing in Sander Berg is a great signing to sit in front of the defence. The likes of Redmond and Larsson on the wings could produce some really big performances. It is a big challenge for Kompany, granted, but he did well with them last season, and I think that he has the capability to get a lot out of the team this season. Just need to start grabbing some results. Underachievers, Wolves. Wolves are going to be my underachievers this season, and the reason I think that is, although I picked them to end the season in 15th when I made my predictions a few weeks ago, I think there is a big probability that they could get sucked into the relegation places. They have lost the entire spine of their team other than the goalkeeper, and have lost Lopetegui as well. The squad is thin and is missing a few major players from the past couple of seasons who have left this summer. They have started the season with 2 losses, and that sort of form could feasibly continue, although they did grab an important win against Everton. They have to make some urgent signings though quickly to improve the state of this team overall, otherwise they are going to underachieve and they are going to finish near the bottom. Top goal scorer Erling Haaland. Just as it was with the Champions entry, there are no surprises with this one at all. He has 3 goals to his name so far, and he isn't going to stop there. The man is an absolute machine, and it is going to destroy teams yet again this season. Power, speed, strength, and goal scoring ability is a recipe for devastation, and that is exactly what he is going to do. I do not see anyone else getting close to the amount of goals that he is going to score this season. I really don't. Signing of the season, Declan Rice. He commanded an absolutely massive fee, but I think he is worth it. Fantastic player on the ball with exceptional passing capability, spatial awareness and close control, will provide so many chances for this team score, whilst his defensive capabilities will shore up an already impressive defence. I don't see past City for the league title, but I think Arsenal are going to get the closest, and if they could do it this season, I think Rice is going to be the difference. It is a big statement, but his ability backs it up, and he is going to be the biggest impact signing for me on any team this season. Bargain signing Alexis McAllister. I was going to pick Yuri Tillemans, who was a free transfer for Villa, and I think will actually do wonders for them, but I've gone for a different tact here in McAllister. I know the amount of the transfer isn't cheap, but £35 million for this player isn't just a bargain. It's a steal. Out of the whole Argentinian World Cup winning squad, there were 3 outfield players who were the most important to the team and who garnered the most praise. Messi, Fernandes and McAllister. One of those players is the GOAT, whereas the other cost over £100 million for Chelsea to bring in. Liverpool have managed to get his midfield partner for nearly a third of that cost, and he is only 2 years older than Fernandes. Liverpool are in the middle of a major midfield reconstruction, and I think behind Rice, he is the next midfield recruitment this season who is going to have the largest positive impact on their team. Want to watch Moises Caicedo? I would usually try to look at a one to watch as someone who might be a bit under the radar or could be more interesting than most people will consider, but with this one, I'm actually going for one of the biggest stories this season. Caicedo's transfer saga was like nothing seen before and ended up with 2 Premier League record bids being accepted, with the player miraculously refusing one team for the other, who were yet to even bid at that time. It was a huge story, and all it would do is add even more pressure on the player than the record-breaking costs already will. A fantastic player, but that is a lot of pressure to perform under, and it is only going to go one of 2 ways. He could either thrive under it and he become the world-class player that he has the potential to be, or he could crumble and become yet another expensive flop for Chelsea. I don't personally think he will be a flop, but there is an intrigue there as to whether he will live up to the hype, and I think it is going to be very interesting to see how his season pans out. There we have it, guys. That was my predictions for the end of season awards. Probably 1 or 2 controversial picks there, but let me know down in the comments below what you think, and please do remember to like and subscribe. And why don't you check me out across all of my other socials? I am on YouTube, where you're watching this video, Twitter, now X, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch, where I do all of my streaming, all under the same handle, Bolts96, but the O is 0. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.